NBA.com, this is Charles Reports for the 29th, and we're going to end the month on a positive note. No peace has actually happened, but they announced that they're having a 60-day extension to not having peace. And so there you go. And that was enough to really uh, continue to force a short cover rally here within this MBI white spike, but still. Magenta over yellow has not changed, and as we pointed out before, DOC steel full reset. So, and pivoting above the negative 13.5. So, all good from that standpoint. NASDAQ, likewise, not quite as exuberant because they were just a little bit more muted relative to the S&P move, but uh, pretty much identical readings from that standpoint and still sign under red. None of that's changed. So, that's all clean and simple from an oil standpoint. That's too modest to have any real impact, and you'd have to have this for quite some time, and you really need to see it move down towards the 60s, and that isn't happening anytime soon. So deal with it. And that was exciting news for the euro because they can all get back to their war footing, and it's just the battle back and forth. Because obviously, if there's peace, then they're going to get their oil, even though the flight cancellations starting to pile up here. And we'll see. That'll be an interesting one, particularly when it comes to tourism and things like that, because you can get a plane over here, but can you get it filled back up to go back? This is going to be a good question. I know they're probably doing whatever they can to try and mitigate that, but TikTok, yeah, and there's a time limit on that. Gold reacted with a little bit of positive news from it. Still within weakness. Bitcoin, ugly. Really hasn't been much of a spurt from it anyway, so it really hasn't done much of anything from the peak move here. We had a little bit of sideways up that really wasn't supported by any of the move, and this was all the tariff things. So that could be unwinding a little bit. Maybe people aren't willing to pay anymore. Difficult to say on that standpoint. So you can see the briefest of retraces, and then we come back and push out to new highs. And all the MBI white move that led to the dip ended up with the magenta turnaround, and that stayed all the way through. So all that MBI white was short covering into the rally there, and boom, the full explosion from it. And from the 5K standpoint, yeah, it was pretty straightforward, mostly up through the end of that. And here we are in the post market right now. So Friday hasn't begun, of course. We'll be prepping indicators for June, and I think that'll all look good. But 60 days, another 60 days without any relief in the Strait of Hormuz is an economic nightmare. So surprised that we're going to have more of that, because it's not really sustainable. That's a whole different story. So we'll see what happens. Anyway, anything relevant, I will put it on our team chat. Have a good one. Trade well.